Hey guys, how's it going? Hope all is well in your part of the world. Welcome, of course, to the Time Bomb channel with myself, a Bombardier, and I've managed to control myself this week. Quite proud of myself. It doesn't usually happen that I'm able to keep a watch in its box to do a genuine unboxing on the channel. Yeah, so as obviously as the just as well as I'm cracking this one open, we'll be looking at an Aragon today. It's a brand that I've not had on the channel before. I think, with many micro brands, they do suffer from that. Having lots of sales, and I've been looking at them for a while, having a think, saying like, yeah, should I try it? Should I pick one up second hand first? Might that be a better option? And then this last sale that they had, I thought, yeah, all right, I'll succumb. Cost me 139 US dollars. That's £100 for Prince Andrew's reference. And of course, as you'll know, many the Aragons come in, all shapes, colours, sizes, designs, etc. I think as well they were previously called Android, and that their creator Wing strikes me as being the type of watch enthusiast designer who is a little bit like a kitten with a ball of wool. In that he's prolific with his designs. He's constantly tweaking things. Mad colours, mad sizes, mad pricing. And that's kind of what pushed me to finally pull the trigger and get one of these. Is that I kind of respect his watch madness and his watch frenzy. I think for that price, £100, I think you're really getting a lot for the watch. Well, that's my expectation. I've not actually opened the box yet, so let's have a quick look at what's inside. Okay, and all right, there's our watch, our comfy cushion. And the bottom, we get some standard blurb. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with that. More buttonage up top. So yeah, decent colour box, etc. I'm not really that fussed about watch boxes. And here is our lovely yellow. Let's just pop the camera in. Our Aragon Diver. So this is the Dive Master, and it's the 42mm version. And yeah, let me just pause there while I remove some of those stickers. Okay, so yeah, I've just got all of those stickers off, and I confess I automatically had a quick play with the the crown just to see, because I just opened it up there and I was just looking at that crown actually it's just a little small for my preference. But anyway, let's kick off as always with some key specs. So ticking away inside, we've got the day-date Seiko NH36. You're not going to have any real issues with that at all. Imagining accuracy is going to be pretty good. Obviously, this is the 42, it's suggesting it's 42 mils across. Is that not another sticker on the? Yes, it is. Yeah, there we go. Let's just remove that sticker so we can actually see the real watch. The previous iterations of these then came as 45 mils. I bought the 42 rather than the 45 because I was looking for something that might be a little bit more of a daily wearer. And whilst I do like big watches, I imagine that 45 mils across of steel might be a little on the heavy side, specifically around the top wobble aspect. These are 14 mils deep, so quite deep, and that's the aspect that I was thinking around with the top wobble. One of the reasons it's so deep is obviously that they've plumped for the see-through exhibition case back here. If they hadn't, I think that might have shaved off a little 2 mils underneath here and made those lugs perhaps a little bit more effective. We've then obviously got sapphire up top with some AR coating, which looks to be working quite well on the light reflection here. Screw down crown here. As I say, I did have a little fiddle with it just as I was taking those stickers off, and that crown to me is too small. I like mine a little larger. But yeah, all seems pretty solid, not too much wiggle there at all. But yeah, that works good. And then our date window here obviously as well, working all fine. Yeah, looks good to me. It screws back in with a very yeah, it's convincing. There's no grit, there's no wobble or anything like that. So the function of the crown is good, but it just strikes me as being, I'd like it, I don't know, a little bit thicker. Anyway, I'm rambling. So obviously then you obviously get 200 meters worth of watery goodness with these. It's a ceramic bezel insert. Personally, I don't really like ceramic bezel inserts because I find them a little bit shiny. You know, they pick up every single fingerprint on there. And in addition to that, I had a ceramic watch previously. I dropped it and the ceramic lugs snapped. So it's kind of always put me off ceramic in the past. Appreciate that it is more scratch resistant, but not necessarily impact resistant. I mentioned already the see-through case back here. I mean, the NH36 perhaps doesn't necessarily warrant a window, but I think with that custom rotor, it looks pretty good here. I think that changes it up. You know, that blue matches nicely with the steel here. I think the loomage on these things should be excellent. Obviously, as you've seen, I've just taken it out of the box. I'm trying to remember, I think it's a dual colour on this one, and also the crown is loomed, but what I will do is I'll add in a couple of photos over the top while I'm editing this video, just so that you can actually see the loom for yourselves. I plumped for the silicon strap on this one because I thought a watch for £100 that came on a stainless steel bracelet, that bracelet simply couldn't have been, you know, worth it. If you think what's gone into that, and then it just didn't make sense to me. I've had previous experience of that in the past. I hope that that's not a lint magnet. He says, let's just tempt it. No, it doesn't look like it's picking up too much. But again, that'll need wearing more just to see, you know, how does it hold up with heat and cold. Obviously, these are my first thoughts. This has just come straight out of the box. I'll do a more in-depth review when I've had a chance to get it on wrist for a couple of weeks. The case body, initial thoughts. I mean, it's no fuss, it's no frills, entirely fit for purpose. But I mean, looking at that vertical brushing on the side there, I think that looks pretty solid. As well, also there inside the luggage, not too bad at all. Yeah, I mean, it's not super refined brushing. I mean, it's a little rough, but I mean, I think it looks pretty good actually. No issues with that at all. The coin edge bezel that you've got on here as well, I mean, it's very flush. I was just looking there, so I mean, there's not a lot of overhang here. So let's just give it a little twizzle. Smooth, clean, even. It's quite stiff, so there's absolutely no way you're knocking this out of place. And it's rock solid. So yeah, a couple of conclusions from that. One, I think the action's good. The grippage is weak. If you've got gloves on and they're wet, I think that could be an issue. Because it's very flush, zero overhang. But if you're just using this as a desk diver, I think you'd be very impressed indeed. I was just thinking, yeah, then having a quick look at the dial, I'm not quite sure. I think the minute hand in orange, I think that works well. I think the red seconds hand probably doesn't. Or maybe it's just that the hour hand is the wrong colour. The hour hand, obviously, then matching those markers. Yeah, a little bit of an odd choice. I might need a little bit more time with that, but I'm just thinking the combination of the yellow with the black and that shiny bezel aspect, you know, there's a lot of energy coming off that dial. I think it looks pretty good. Killer bees spring to mind. Rocking the Heimdaller today, so I'm just going to throw this on wrist while I keep rambling so you can get a little wrist action. I think, I mean, the dial itself, what I was looking at there is that it's straightforward. I think it's very clear, very legible. I don't see any issue at all in that sense. My wrist is 7 1/4 inches for your reference. It's not that deep. I didn't measure it. I should have measured it from north to south. I'm going to say it's around a 47, 48. It does sit quite proud, as I say, those 14 mils because of that exhibition case back that you can see underneath. If they cut that out, it would sit flusher, I think. But again, I think on this silicon, that's going to hug it quite nicely and hold it in place. But again, I will do an in-depth review on that. Well, as I say, when I've had some chance to beat it up a little bit and wear it around the garden a few times. Other aspect, I mean, I like the logo, the Aragon text at the top of there. I think the font's really nice, slightly angled, and it looks kind of sporty. Goes with the overall design here. I think the small script there below, it's too small. You can't even read it from here, and it's probably redundant. Far better just to leave that lovely egg yolk yellow dial just to shine through. I guess if you're thinking of getting one of these, if you've, like me, never pulled the trigger on the brand before, you might be thinking of Orients or third-hand Seikos or Invictas, or some of your AliExpress clones. But I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I think it'd be difficult to disagree in the sense that I think this one uses way better components than the Invictas. They also have perhaps a little bit more uniqueness than the Invictas, and they've got bags more personality than any of the AliExpress clones. Heimdallr might give them a little bit of a push, but again, it's very clonage, that one. Whereas this one, perhaps, yeah, it's got references to other watches, but I think it's got enough personality and uniqueness, as I say, to it to probably win you over. As always, these are just my initial views of the watch straight out of the box. What do you guys reckon? If you've got one and you've used one of these 42s for a long time, what's your user experience and feedback? Have you changed the hands out on the watches, or are you happy with the watches? I know that some people buy one of these and end up buying another 10. So yeah, it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts. All right, guys, that's a wrap for today. And of course, until the next vid, your host, the Bombardier, signing off. Cheers.